Project Lazarus has 1 starter pistol, 13 wall guns, and 38 mystery box weapons. A grand total of 52 guns that are currently available to play in the game at this time. Guys, it's been 2 years and today, I felt that it was time to make a brand new gun tier list for 2024. But before we get started, as always, please, if you like this video, smash that like button and consider subscribing, as it would really help me out. Also, check out the description box for links to the Project Lazarus Discord and Wiki, along with my own Discord, Twitch, and Twitter. Alright guys, without further ado, let's get started. To begin, I'm starting off with the F tier, and that's F as in this tier is for noob's eyes only. In at number 52, and still the worst weapon that has ever graced the halls of Project Lazarus, the Crossbow. This weapon carries the unfortunate moniker because again, it has no piercing, no rapid fire, and no quick reload. Interestingly enough, this weapon is also the most powerful non-wonder weapon in this game. So if you're ever unfortunate enough to get this weapon from the mystery box, you have my condolences. Next at number 51 is one of the newer weapons that have been released, the less lethal CQB. This shotgun can one-shot up to round 24 with its special beanbag round. However, it has no piercing and slow reload. What makes it better than the crossbow is the fire rate and the fact that it has 7 shots at the ready where the crossbow only has 1. Up next at number 50 is the second less lethal weapon released alongside the CQB, the MGL-LTL Anti-Riot. This grenade launcher carries the same issues as the CQB when it comes to reload and piercing. Well, what makes it slightly better is the fact that it can one-shot to round 39. Something interesting that you all probably didn't know about this weapon is the fact that it's the only one in the entire Project Lazarus roster that gets a reduction in reserve ammo after being packed, which is probably why it was released on April Fool's Day of last year. Coming in at number 49 is the more serious counterpart for the MGL-LTL, the Milkor MGL MK1. The MK1 can one-shot up to round 38. Even though it carries all of the same issues as the LTL, the aftershock module is able to hit more targets using a delayed secondary explosion. Here's some words of wisdom. This weapon should only ever be used as an assist, never your main. In the mid to higher rounds, you can easily get overrun by the zombie horde, so use it at your own risk. In at number 48 on the list is the nail gun. I never thought that I would consider the nail gun better than any other weapon besides the crossbow in this game. But man, how times have changed. The reason is due to the fire rate, and when packed, the explosive nails can do additional damage hitting multiple targets. At number 47 is the M14. This gun can one-shot up to round 18 and has a nice 3-shot burst after reloading due to its conquest module. Another good thing about this weapon is that I no longer consider it to be one of the worst weapons in this game thanks to the anti-riot guns. In at number 46 is the SKS. I can honestly say that I like this weapon more than the M14 due to the steady hand module. Now if you aren't familiar with it, it reduces the recoil when aiming down sights by 75% when packed. And lastly, this gun is exclusive to the graduation map. At number 45 is the SA58 OSW. It's unfortunate, but this gun has never impressed me. I feel like this gun should probably be retired from Project Lazarus and replaced with something better. You know, just like the KEDR-B replaced the AS Val. That's exactly what should happen here. Moving on to number 44, and the final member of the F tier list is the RPD. Last tier list I made the mistake of placing this weapon ahead of the M249. The scrapper module may provide more ammo, but I like being able to deal more damage better. We are now on the E tier, as in if you're not careful with these guns when fighting the horde, it can be real easy to die. And this should be no surprise, but at number 43 is the F249 SAW. Like the RPD, of course, it has hindered movement speed along with a lengthy reload time, but as mentioned, the increased 125% fire rate from the frenzy module is a great bonus for this gun. Next up at number 42 is the Gustaf M2 launcher, a great assist weapon that can put down the horde provided that you're not disoriented when doing so. The 6 shots at the ready can cause a lot of damage. Another positive thing about this weapon is that it becomes fully automatic when packed, and it can reload all rounds at once. In at number 41 is the JS9. This weapon when packed is a good mid-round to early late game weapon. The 25% additional shots thanks to the Twin Fang module is a plus. This weapon is only available on the research map, and it's located on the wall right across from the double tap, which makes it easy to replenish your ammo. At number 40 we have the TMP, another wall weapon except this time it's exclusive to the graduation map. It can one-shot up to round 18 and has the Chaos module. The module with all of its potential is its downfall. since the extra damage that it provides isn't guaranteed. Up next at number 39 is the MP5. This gun used to be considered a requirement when farming late game on the graduation map. However, it's no longer required due to the points update when joining a late game server. While this gun isn't top tier, it's definitely a solid backup for any loadout. Number 38 on the list is the KEDR-B. The placement of this weapon on the research map along with its stealth attack module makes this the new and improved MP5, a solid performer that can definitely get you to the late rounds. At number 37 and the final weapon for the E tier is the DP-27. Don't let this weird shaped weapon fool you. This LMG provides a good amount of damage thanks to its Lordship module. It does 150% damage along with 40% recoil reduction when you're standing still. This gun is another example of a good weapon that can get you to the late rounds. Moving on to the D tier, as in any weapon in this tier definitely has a chance to get you to the late rounds. Next up on the list at number 36 is the R0635. The best thing about this gun is the kill clip module, as reloading after a kill grants you 140% damage after 5 seconds. I've always felt that this weapon was a better version of the KEDR-B. This weapon unfortunately can only be obtained through the M16 Game Pass. At number 35 on the list is the M16A4. This is one solid assault rifle that I definitely consider a good mid to late tier weapon. The 50 kill upgrade module turning the weapon into a full automatic makes this weapon even more desirable. Coming in at number 34 on the list is the SCAR-HAMR. This gun took a long time to grow on me, as I've never been a fan of LMGs in this game. But over time I have come to appreciate this weapon, as it's pretty solid thanks to its Battle Scars module. It has 150% fire rate for the first 7 rounds of each burst. So the short of it is, you can take advantage of it as long as you fire the weapon as a semi-auto. At number 33 on the list, and my favorite LMG, is the RPK-74. This weapon can only be obtained through the AK Expansion Game Pass. The reason why I find this LMG atop all the others is due to its kill tally module. The extra damage coupled with the amount in ammo reserve simply kills the competition. In at number 32 is the first handgun on the list, the Tech 9. This weapon is a great mid-round support weapon. It's lightweight, has an excellent fire rate. Its 50 kill upgrade module provides extra damage while reducing your recoil by 50%. Next at number 31 on the list is a weapon that is near and dear to me, the B93 Raffica. This weapon can easily be your primary or secondary during the mid to late rounds. This is due to its one-shotting ability to round 31. Definitely not bad for a wall weapon for sure. And the final weapon for the D tier at number 30 is the Glock 17. This weapon for the longest was used as the tertiary weapon in high round world record achievements. The Echo Cobra module provided comfortability in being full auto and giving the user 15% additional movement speed. The full auto definitely provided cover during insta-kill, where the movement speed was great getting out of tight situations. Next is the could be worse tier, as in, the guns in this tier are not so bad, I mean, it could be worse. Next up at number 29 is the PM9. This is definitely a change from my previous rating for this weapon. I always considered it to be a better version of the KEDR-B. One of the biggest issues that I have with it though is the recoil. While the Relentless module does take care of this problem, to me it's still not that useful. Coming in at number 28 is the AN94 Abakan. This is a good wall weapon that definitely deserves recognition for getting you to the mid to late rounds. The pros for this weapon lies in its double headshot module, as it grants 150% headshot damage for 1 second when performing double headshots, hence the name. Unfortunately though, the damage for this weapon begins to wane at the late 20s. At number 27 is the Beretta M9. I'd say for a beginner, this is probably one of the most sought after weapons in this game due to the popularity of the Call of the Void. While its ability does slow down the horde, players may mistake this to be as good as a wonder weapon, and it's no substitute, but it's a great assist weapon for sure. At number 26 is another popular handgun, the Deagle. This handgun is powerful and is able to one-shot up to round 32. For a handgun though, I found that the reload time on this weapon is a little long, which is the sole reason why the double seal module doesn't work for me. Wasting an entire mag for one shot only to be followed by an extensive reload is a bit much. In at number 25 and the final weapon for the C tier is the Aug A3. The pros for this weapon is the fire rate and the awesome adrenaline module. I have to say that the term run and gun is definitely appropriate for this weapon. The only major drawback is that this weapon wanes in damage around the mid to late 20s, which can really deplete your ammo reserves. And now for the beware skill is required tier, as in, a few weapons here calls for good shot placement, so beware skill is required. Moving on to number 24, we have the HK416. Early on I didn't really give this weapon a chance, but the truth of the matter is that it's a very solid gun. It has great fire rate and can easily be a primary or secondary up to the early 30s. Next up at number 23 is the newest member to join Project Lazarus, the Honey Badger. This weapon is pretty good. It has great fire rate, no recoil, doesn't hinder your movement speed, all the best things that a good solid weapon should have. In addition to that, it has the stealth takedown module, which deals 175% headshot damage with the first 25% of the magazine. At number 22 is the M4 SOPMOD 2. Another weapon from the M16 expansion pack, this weapon can deal some pretty good damage till the early 30s. The moving target module also can help maneuver you out of some tight situations while firing your weapon. Up next at number 21 is the F2000. This gun has gotten better recently, as the opportunity module now gives you a 200% damage buff for 10 seconds instead of 5. Coupled with the high fire rate makes this weapon formidable in the mid to late rounds. Moving on to number 20, we have the MSSR. This sniper rifle was recently a highlight in my most recent world record video where I obtained an 8,500% fire rate. While it is the weakest out of all the sniper rifles, it can still easily get you to the later rounds. At number 19 on the list is one of my favorite shotguns in the game, the Remington. The ability to one-shot until round 33, combined with reloading 2 shells at a time, makes this a very good weapon to keep in your loadout. On top of all that, it's a wall weapon that just happens to be in some very good spots on both maps, making ammo easily accessible should you need more. This next weapon, and at number 18, is the UMP-45. You may have heard me refer to this weapon as the K1A of graduation. Because it's solid, can cause great damage due to the unyielding module, this is the second most powerful wall weapon on the graduation map. That is provided you can always hit your target, of course. At number 17 on the list is the P90. This used to be one of my favorite weapons in Project Lazarus. This actually slid a little bit from the last tier list due to its most recent update. Its damage unfortunately was nerfed, but with 500 ammo in reserves, good fire rate, and its LEN module, it's still a solid weapon overall. At number 16 on the list and the final weapon for the B tier is the SL9 SD. Still one of the best assault rifles in the game due to its good fire rate and damage output, all thanks to the stealth attack module. This gun can one-shot up to round 31. It has good recoil, carries a lot of ammo, and has great accuracy, so much so that one would think that this gun was actually a sniper. Second to the last is the almost superior tier, as in, these guns are pretty good on their own, they're almost superior tier. In at number 15 on the list is a gun that moved up quite a few spots from last time, the Masada. Like the HK416, I didn't really give this gun a real chance. Interestingly enough, the Masada was the first weapon that I ever reviewed on Project Lazarus many years ago. Its high damage output with the Defender module makes this gun a great viable option to make the mid-30s. Coming in at number 14 is the AKS-74U. This is another weapon that I felt should be moved up in rank. The damage output from this gun is awesome with the Anarchy module. I give it the edge over the Masada due to the frequency at which you can deal out damage. The only unfortunate thing is that this weapon is only available with the AK expansion pass. At number 13 is the M26 Mass. This shotgun just happens to be the most powerful one in the entire game thanks to the flechette module. It can one-shot until round 44. I said this before, but my only issue with this gun is the bolt action, which delays firing a bit when you're dealing with a horde. Anyone who's played with this weapon I'm sure understands what I mean. In at number 12 was another favorite wall weapon of mine, the Ranger. This double-barreled shotgun should have the moniker night and day. The reason is due to the difference between the packed and unpacked versions of this weapon. Either way, for many years, this was the most sought-after shotgun to get to the late rounds simply due to the Madness module. Coming in at number 11 on the list is the K1A. This is my favorite wall gun in Project Lazarus, period. This is because of two reasons. The first is the Sustenance module, where kills partially reload the magazine with bullets that deal 125% damage. And the second, of course, is it's a wall weapon that's easily accessible when you need more ammo. Now, in my honest opinion, I think that this is the best tertiary weapon when going for high rounds. Finally cracking the top 10 is another new member to Project Lazarus, the MCX Spear. This battle rifle can deal out some damage thanks to the Spearhead module. This gun is like the big brother to the Honey Badger but with poor recoil. However, this can be mitigated by firing semi-auto. Overall, this is definitely a good addition to the game. Still at number 9 on the list is the second most powerful sniper in the game, the Barrett 50 cal. This sniper rifle can definitely pack a punch and can one-shot up to round 45 thanks to the Lintner anti-material module. It gives the ability to fire anti-material rounds that explode and penetrate provided you're standing still. In at number 8 is another weapon that has slipped in rankings a bit, the AUG. What makes this weapon so special is that it's the second non-wonder weapon in Project Lazarus that can one-shot up to round 50. The drawbacks for this gun, in my opinion, is the same issue that the M26 has. The bolt action can really hinder you when fighting the Horde, so you'll have to be cautious in the higher rounds. Coming in at number 7, and also the last weapon of the A tier, is the USAS-12. This is a really powerful shotgun that can run through the Horde all the way to the mid-30s. Like the AUG, the floating dagger module allows you to move with great speed upon every kill. In addition to that, every 4 kills gives you a damage buff for 5 seconds. Now with Lazarus, when I'm doing the medic challenge, this is my gun of choice as it will get me to the other side of either map in just a few seconds. And finally, the best of the best, the superior tier. In at number 6 is another favorite weapon of mine, the AK-12. This is the last weapon covered from the AK expansion pack. It's the spinning image of the AK-47 with one slight difference. The Cold Heart module allows you to stack 5% damage up to 200%. The only drawback is damage resets once you take damage from a zombie. At number 5, and still my most favorite shotgun in the entire game, is the Benelli. Nothing has really changed with this weapon. It still has great fire rate, reloads 4 shells at once, and can one-shot up to round 37. All thanks to the Better Tomorrow module. At number 4 is the AK-47. I will always believe that this gun will remain in the top 5 for this game. This gun is simply too good. And of course, this is all thanks to the awesome Lionheart module. At number 3 on the list, and what I consider to be the best sniper rifle in the game, the Dragunov SVU. This weapon is still as solid as ever. It can one-shot up to round 42, has great recoil, fire rate, and has the multi-headshot module which makes sniping a breeze. And for the runner-up, we have Frostbite. This weapon can only ever be a primary as it does the most damage to any zombie in the entire game. Unfortunately though, this gun has the added benefit of totally freezing its user if they're in the blast radius. Finally, and what will probably always be at number 1 on my list, well, at least until they come out with another wonder weapon, is the ray gun. My reasoning for placing it in this spot is a simple one. I think that the Frostbite needs the ray gun, but I don't think that the ray gun needs Frostbite. When playing for high rounds, you use your best gun first and follow it up if you run out of ammo. The ray gun can always fill the role of a primary or secondary where Frostbite cannot. Well guys, what do you think of my new Project Lazarus gun tier list for 2024? I had a lot of fun making it. Let me know your thoughts down below. And as always guys, remember to have fun, take care, and God bless.